We got Marion Reneau back here on the program, and she's got a huge fight coming up here against Cat Zingano at UFC Fight Night 133 on July 14th. Marion, what's going on? How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for having me again.
No problem. It's good to talk to you again. Now, are you getting a day off today? Is that why I'm talking to you in the morning, or is this just in between work today?
Oh no, it's a day off. So I'm actually on summer vacation right now.
Oh,
So a
nice. I was
day
going to
off
ask you about that. Yeah.
from teaching. Yeah, I'm totally done with teaching right now. But it is one of my rest days. It's an active rest day, so I'll end up doing some yoga, some stretches, some cryo, and stuff like that. But it is a rest day for me today.
That sounds awesome. It's always nice to get that little buffer in between training to, get that rest time because it's needed. Otherwise, you'll overtrain, right? So
100%, 100%, yes.
let's talk about your last fight. That was a pretty impressive performance. You get the submission win over Sara McMann. You must have been pretty happy with that one, especially getting another finish.
I was extremely happy. It was one of those things that I knew I wanted to. It was going to go to the ground. We knew it was going to go to the ground. So I wanted to be able to finish her on the ground as well and make a statement. And I was able to do that. So I was very pleased. Yes.
And I know you wanted, either a title shot or something up there as far as, like a good opponent, but you got Cat Zingano, who is, a former title challenger. Second fight in a row, you've had a former title challenger, which is interesting. How do you feel like you match up against her in this fight? I know Kat's gone on a bit of a losing streak, but she's still a very notable opponent.
Right. And she's a well-rounded opponent as well. I mean, she does have ground and wrestling, and her striking is more Muay Thai based, but it is very good. So it's one of those things that, hey, I'm taking what they're giving me only because there was nobody else available at the time. I think Katlyn at the time was injured, and other girls had things already booked, and I'm not sure what's going on with Jermaine. So it's just, it was the only thing available, or I would have to wait until the end of the year, and I wanted to stay active.
And how much more is it difficult where you have, fighters in the bantamweight division, dropping down or, in some cases they're moving up? Like, has that made things more complicated in terms of booking fights?
It has, just because I'm at a point where I want to fight eventually for the title. I'm at a point where, that's my main goal. Like, I'm knocking them down as I come, just because that's my goal. Obviously, that's everybody's goal. And it's hard when girls are dropping from the top 10 and then there's nobody available. I mean, Juliana Pena just had a baby. Holly was fighting at 145. Me and Sarah were booked, but we don't know what's going on with Jermaine, and she's up there too. So it's just kind of like, what's going on with the division? Can we get it settled down? Can we get it back on top? Can we get it back on track? So I'm hoping we can.
Yeah, like I said, it's a notable opponent, so I'm sure regardless of, if you get the win here, it's going to look good on your resume. And let's talk about Kat, just style versus style. How do you feel like you match up against her?
I think we're going to be pretty much the same. I think our ground game is pretty notable. I mean, she does have jiu-jitsu, she does have wrestling, and I think she has a fairly decent stand-up game. So I think we're going to match up really well against each other.
And have you kept training camp primarily the same as far as working with the same training partners and everything, or have you changed things up for this camp?
The only thing I changed up for this camp was my sparring partner. I needed somebody who was more Muay Thai based, so I went ahead and went with a more Muay Thai based type of striker, and his jiu-jitsu is insane. So it worked out actually really well, especially for this opponent.
Have you gotten to train with Chris Cyborg at all? I know you guys have trained together in the past.
I haven't had a chance to go down there. I know she was in the middle of having her niece come down, and she's spending a lot of time with her right now. So I haven't had a chance to, but I'm pretty sure sometime this summer after my fight camp, I'll be down there training with her.
Excellent. And how's the weight cut going? I imagine that process has already started.
Oh, yeah. It started the day that I found out that I was going to be actually fighting. It's not more of a weight cut for me. It's about weight management. Especially, I have to, be smart about cutting weight. As I get a little bit older, it does take a little bit more. So I'm very smart, very disciplined when it comes to my eating.
And what about your corner? Is it just going to be the same corner as all your other fights?
It is. I'm going to have Jim West. I'm going to have Jim West, who's actually, he does my wrestling and my groundwork. I'm going to have my fiance, Mondo Perez, and then I'm going to have my boxing coach, Eloy Garza.
How do you see this fight playing out on July 14th? I mean, you're going to get your hand raised, otherwise you wouldn't have taken the fight, but how do you see it unfolding?
it's going to be a battle between two badass moms for sure.
I like that.
And
That's awesome.
yeah. So it's going to be a battle, and it's going to be nonstop. That's going to be both of us nonstop. Obviously, I feel I'm going to get my hand raised. She feels she's going to get her hand raised. So it's just whoever wants it more.
There's a lot of confusion right now, both in the 145 division and in the 135 division as far as title shots go. Do you feel like a win here against Cat Zingano gets you that title shot?
Ideally.
Yeah.
Ideally, that would probably make the most sense. But right now my focus is 100% on Cat, so I'm not trying to think anything past that or past my opponent. I have to knock down what's in front of me, and Cat right now is in front of me. I need to knock that down and jump through one more hoop, and hopefully, it'll fall where it's supposed to fall.
So off the top, we talked about how today's like a recovery day, and I know when you're not working, doing your teacher, day job, you get a little bit more free time. So what are some things that you're getting to do that you normally don't get to do during, a full teaching week?
Sleep.
Well, that is important. Yes.
Oh my gosh, I'm getting a chance to basically spread out my workouts. So usually my workouts are back to back to back to back at the end of the night, just because I work during the day. But I'm having an opportunity to spread them out and then rest in between and do whatever it is that I need to do in between. It has been so awesome. I'm like, this is what it feels like. So I like it. I like it a lot.
When do you go back to work? Like, because I know you get the summer, but it's kind of, isn't it like, is it end of August, I guess you would have to go back?
We're not talking about that right now. Nobody cares about going back to work.
No,
yeah. It's probably, seriously, I don't know. It's sometime in August. Thank God they send me a note saying, hey, we're going back to work. Make sure you're here. But honestly, I just know it's sometime in August. Right now, I'm on vacation. I need to decompress from my students. I love them, but I do need to decompress from them.
That's great. Well, this is going to be an awesome fight. It's UFC Fight Night 133 coming up here on July 14th. Marion, it's always good talking to you. Always so positive. I appreciate you taking the time. Just remind people where they can get a hold of you on social media. And if you have any sponsors or shout outs, the floor is yours.
A shout out to all my workout partners and my coaches. They keep me humble. They keep me motivated and inspired. To my family for taking care of all the needs that need to be taken care of. And if you want to hit me up on social media, Twitter is the place to hit me up to get more interactive with myself, or Instagram. So you can find me under Marion Reneau or the Belizean Bruiser.